The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday post-Super Bowl show. You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where this is a lie. It says it's 38 degrees and it feels like 30. It feels more like 15 out there. The high is 42. I don't believe it. The low is 21.
He is Shannon. That is Nate. This is Kurt. In the back, keeping us live and local today is our girl, Jazz. I am Salt and Pepper Poppy. Together, we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us when we speak.
Brought to you each and every day by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Wings.
Nate, you got your wish. You're the only Cowboy fan in the world that wanted the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
I said it too.
Yes, you did.
Y'all are ridiculous. Should turn in your Cowboy fandom card.
Nope, it's the NFC.
It does not matter. It is the Philadelphia Eagles.
I ride NFC. I ride NFC. I don't change that. Certain things I stay with. SEC, football, NFC, Boston Celtics, Braves, when I used to tell who the players was. Yeah, that's about it.
Man.
No hockey for me. No soccer. No tennis.
No. You ever been to a hockey game?
Yes, sir. Oh, great sport to watch live, not on TV.
No, it's
live.
It's not.
Live.
What did the game tell you guys? I think we could all see them winning, but I don't think anyone saw them winning that way.
Not like that.
The defense just completely dominant. And I think that shows you, you guys talk about it on the show all the time. It all starts up front, right? Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes ain't Patrick Mahomes if he's got 1.3 seconds to throw the ball. Yeah. And they're big, they're strong, they're nasty, they're young, and they're going to be around for a while.
They're nearly all coming back.
So what did the game tell you, Kurt? Start with you first.
Yeah, Eagles are tough, and they look like they're going to be tough for a while. And that gap between us and them seems wider than it has in a while, unfortunately.
Yes. Jesse?
Wu-Tang had a song. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. You want good players? Go buy them.
At some point, does that catch up to them?
Yeah. It's 2029. 2029 is when they're supposed to meet their doom.
And then you're if you're the Eagles, you're just hoping by then the money gets bigger and bigger, and you can just keep pushing it out, pushing it out.
That's exactly their mentality.
And if it ever catches you, we just reset.
We reset.
But we got 2 or 3 along the way, right?
That's their thought process. It's 2029 is the year they're supposed to meet with their cap hell they're supposed to meet, right? They're supposed to meet their maker then. But by that time, the salary cap would have went up multiple times. Yeah. And so now when you get to that point in 2029, those players that are worth keeping, guys like probably Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, who's actually still on his rookie deal, right? So he'll get a new deal at that time.
Right.
If Jalen Hurts is you still believe that's going to be your quarterback, so on and so forth, cool. Then whatever money I owe him in 2029, I put that back in the pot and I scrapulate it out for 5 more years and I push this thing on down the line to 2034. And that's what they'll just keep doing that until eventually they'll go, okay, we don't have enough players worth pushing money down the line for anymore. So that's when we take the hit and we suck. We get a high draft pick.
But look at these.
But we got jewelry. We got jewelry.
And you've got to, that's it. That's becoming in this league a talent, right? To realize, because I think around here, the way I remember it is they used to do that here. They used to go after the big free agents. They used to go after the big dogs, the shiny new toy, and they used to load up, and it didn't work out. And now it feels like they're trying to stay ahead of the cap and stay under and stay right around the cap and not sell your soul for the future now. But I don't think the way this NFL works, you have to it's about timing, right? And you have to time it perfect and go, we're going in now because we got a good core and here's the guys we can put around that and we can win now and then we'll pay the price later. Because if you don't win now and you pay the price later, you wreck your franchise, right?
Well, a part of it is when it comes to contract, like the Cowboys wait till players like they're about to do in a little bit with Micah Parsons. They did the same thing with CeeDee Lamb. They did the same thing with Dak Prescott. These major players on your team, the smart way to do it is if I know that I'm going to keep Kurt on my football team for the foreseeable future, and he's 2 years before he gets a new deal, but he's playing really well, doesn't have any injuries, I extend him now. Right? So I push that money out further. What I don't want to do is I don't want to wait till Kurt gets to the very end of his contract, and now I'm paying either setting the market price or I'm paying above, like I'm paying market price or setting the new market because he's at the end of his deal. And now I'm caught in a bind because Kurt's a really good player, and now he's saying, hey, bro, either you're going to pay me or I'm going somewhere else. And now I know I can't lose him, so now I'm forced to fork over that money when I could have did it 2 years ago and maybe not paid the markets, the setting the market price on him, got him for a deal, and then now paid a lot of the money up front and the bonuses and stuff like that, and your salary cap hit would be softer up front. $2 million here, $2 million there. Talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, like Jalen Hurts, I think, is worth $21 million against the cap this year. I think the next person in line is $17 million with A.J. Brown, right? But he's a $50 million player, but he's only worth $21 million against the cap. So that's how you got to move that money around and do stuff like that.
Yeah. And to add on to what Jesse said, which is so true, but understand me, this is what the Eagles, the Rams, and other Steelers, teams that
the Niners
that are winning, the one thing they don't fear is you got 2 more years left on your contract. You're 30 years old. Bye. Cooper Kupp. Bye.
Yeah.
You got to be able to see a player and say, you know what? We've gotten what we could got. We don't need these last 2 years. We're going to trade him. There's somebody out there that will give us a second, a third, or a fourth and take this contract. That we wait too late, like Jesse said, to sign a player. All of a sudden, we eating up an extra $4 million because we didn't sign him a year earlier. So we eating up an extra $4 to $5 million. Now that's on the back end of that contract. So how do the Rams get back in this so quick? You got to remember, they traded a bunch of players a year or so ago. They traded them. They let them go. Hey, all right, see you later. We wait right up until 26 players are free now. And people saying, well, you got to decide out of those 26 which 4 you want. Because we waited late to pay CD. We waited late to pay Dak. Now we're going to wait late to pay number 11. And so now we wind up with 2 guys, and we sitting up here saying, oh, you know where we need to be at the end of the year? I know where you're going to be at the end of the year. It ain't going to be with the Eagles. It ain't going to be with the Eagles. I promise you that.
Like the Cowboys are sitting in this position right now where they're looking at, do they want to sign Osa or not? Or can they sign Osa or not?
Yeah.
Because I got to sign Micah first, and because I don't want to get into, like, so now what's going to end up happening is a guy like Osa may or may not be here next year. And then he'll go to Detroit, or he'll go to Washington, or he'll go to Baltimore, or he'll go to Philadelphia and go be a player, and they'll pay him, and they'll go, he can help us right now and for the next couple of years, and we'll pay him, and then we'll be in a position to win. And that's Les Snead. I said this on my show earlier. Les Snead, who is the general manager for the Rams, his idea was F these picks. Like that was his. That literally had T-shirts made. So forget the picks. I'll trade the picks to go get better veteran players that I can win with today. Howie Roseman said, "F the money. I'm going to go buy all the players that I need. I'm a draft well because they wouldn't drafted, Quinyon Mitchell, who's a starting corner, and Cooper DeJean, who's a starting corner, and they drafted, Jordan Davis and stuff like that. But that was in their after they won it, they said we're rebuilding. We come back a couple years later, but they went and got Saquon, right? They went and got AJ Brown. They went and got all the players that they needed to go get to fortify their team. And they said, we'll worry about the money later. Now, what it really comes down to is Jeffrey Lurie, who is the owner. When you do the way that they do it, you're going to spend more money up front, right? And so that part is what comes. That comes out of the owner's pockets. You see what I'm saying? And then now you pay for it on the back end, but the upfront money got to come out first, and then you pay for it on the back end. And they're just like, forget profit for us, because we're gonna get the profit when
we win the
Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna charge more for tickets next year. Parking's gonna go up. I'm gonna have more ads.
Jerseys gonna go out of.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have more ads. I'm gonna sell more jerseys. Da, 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 da. And part of the reason, when you think about all of that, why the Joneses are like, I don't have to go spend like that, because the end result is I already am number one in those other areas. I'm already in attendance. I'm already in merch. I'm already in concessions. I'm already in viewership. So they're saying they have to go and spend like that, because that's the one in the win part.
And the tricky part is, if you, as an owner, if you do go all in and you spend it, like say the Eagles, and you don't win it, then that's a negative because you're way upside down.
Yeah, now that's Cleveland, right? That's Denver, right? Denver had to eat a bunch of money with Russell Wilson, $80 million with Russell Wilson. Cleveland, they went out and they spent $230 million guaranteed for Deshaun Watson and other players, and Myles Garrett. They tried to, and now that didn't work out. Right. The Saints were in some of those situations where they tried to go and keep pushing it forward. Sometimes you got to like in the poker game. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And sometimes teams, now that is the risk. The risk is if it doesn't work out.
But this is my question. It hasn't worked out for the Cowboys on other occasions. Are they letting past history?
But what other occasions, though?
Well, I mean, you go back. They got into Cap Hill in the early 2000s after the championships, which was probably worth it. But they got into Cap Hill. Their last huge free agent was Brandon Carr, who was good. He was solid, but he wasn't a game changer.
Yeah, they screwed Brandon Carr. Like, I don't.
Put him in the wrong position.
But still, and then they signed Zeke 2 years earlier. One of the worst deals ever. That no running backs made as much per year since then. I think he made $15 million. Nobody's been signed higher than like 10 or 12 or something like that. They paid Jalen Smith early. They paid Terrence Steele early. I mean, are all these past mistakes keeping them from taking risks now?
Possibly, but like you shot yourself in the foot.
Right.
You dangled money in front of Jalen Smith, who and we know, and I say you, not you, but I'm saying that man had one leg.
Yeah.
You knew that. But you tried to play a game with Zeke because he was holding out, and you were talking about the pie and whoever come get the pie. And Jalen jumped on it. Yeah. Kudos to him and his team, but you knew Jalen wasn't worth that.
And now you've got money tied up in a cornerback and Diggs, who's coming off 2 knee injuries, a quarterback and Prescott's got a pair of leg injuries. I mean, it's
you can't when a guy's injured. Most teams, when a guy's injured, they have a board and it goes red. When we figure out who he is and what he is after this injury, then we'll talk to him. Most you got to say, what's the linebacker?
Leighton Van Der Esch.
He was on 60% of the boards in the league on red. Don't touch.
You're talking about during the draft.
Yeah. And so the same board pops up on injuries. You go to the red. When you have a major injury, like right now, number 13, our second best defensive player should be in the red. It shouldn't be no contract talks. You should learn from that. Mm-hmm. we haven't learned that, hey, you know what, Nate? You're 32. You ain't that cat you was 3 years ago. See ya.
But at the same time, are they gun shy to go out in free agency because they haven't really hit on anybody?
But see,
I don't. You can't. Go ahead on, Jess.
I don't know if they're. I mean, yes, there are gun shy because they're not doing it. Yeah. But you also can't become fixated and fascinated on your own guys, and that's what the Cowboys have been known to do.
Yeah.
Our guys were gonna, because all the guys that you name are their guys. Like they didn't bring us some other guys who were. Trayvon was their guy. Right. Zeke was their guy.
The right tackle.
Steele, their guy. Mm-hmm. Gallup, their guy. So they get fixated on this whole thing of paying our guys. All these guys you pay Steele after coming off an ACL. Hell, we can go all the way back to
Gallup was injured. Yeah,
Gallup, you paid him. You paid Barry Church when he came off an ACL. My boy, no, Barry, you know I love you, my boy. But
yeah,
you know,
congratulations.
Congratulations on that bag.
I mean, it's almost like they sign the ones.
Achilles, not ACL.
They like to gamble, right? We can sign this guy and we think he's going to get through this. We think he's going to work out. And then they let the ones that you have here that Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biotish, Tyron Smith to me is the one that they let go that you should have let go, right? Like
they let him go a year or two, maybe
too late, right? You held him to him a little time. Love Tyron, but the results are – that hot towel quit working, right? So, I mean, it's, love you, Tyron. But, it's almost like the guys you shouldn't gamble on, you should say, let's lock them up. Because Osa's in a great spot. Osa's like, thank you for letting this go this far because I balled out this year. They're mentioning my name on every national broadcast, and I'm getting paid whether it's here
I think
or
he's
wherever.
the number 11th.
Yeah, he's really
prospect,
yeah,
like free agent prospect this offseason. That's like overall, like
he's going to get like
11.
a Robert Quinn type deal where he comes here, leaves here, and goes, "Thank you, thank you so much for the star."
Seattle, he got people in Seattle. Like there's a lot of places that he can go and make.
Yeah, so I mean, it's almost like they like the hey, if this guy works out, we're going to be geniuses.
And see, Osa could have been a guy that you did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Who would have taken whatever you give him.
Way low. Yeah. Way low.
Whatever you get him. You could have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have came in way low. He'd be like, oh, boom, I'm on it. Let's go.
Yeah.
But you wait till he gets here, and then he balls out. Now you like, damn. Can't franchise him. It's like 34 million to franchise him?
It's got to be.
Something crazy.
And you know what? It's so easy for us to sit here and talk about all this. It's so easy.
But some things are so right.
Yeah.
Every guy that he named is a guy that was injured, or coming off major injury, or have been injured most of their careers. It's no way you sign those guys. I love you to death, but we gonna find out who you are after this injury.
All right, we gotta take a break. I have a question for you. It's something Nick and I talked about the other day, and then we will also see where the Vegas odds makers have the Cowboys after the Super Bowl. You might or might not be shocked when we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Hangin' with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every day by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. Kurt,
Yeah.
swing by your local 7-Eleven and grab your favorite item from the roller grill. Then enjoy a big gulp for just 89 cents. Valid at participating stores. Fill up and get game day ready. Go to Pump 8. All right. Scenario for you guys. Since we all saw the game, right? And I think we could all agree that defense won that game. Do you this is something Nick brought up when I was talking to him last week or this week. When was the game? This past Sunday? Yeah, so it was this week, I guess. You know, the mentality of like usually going all in or trading for players or acquiring players, usually your mind goes to the offensive side of the ball, right? Like you got to have people to score points. Does this maybe change your mentality and go, all right, look, you got Micah. Go get another badass that where whoever you're playing cannot throw the ball because they have 2 seconds or less to throw it. And you triple down and you go, I'm going to go get someone like a guy right now that's on another team that wants to be released and go somewhere else.
The guy from Arlington Martin?
That guy.
He went to Arlington Martin?
Yes, the guy that looks like a Greek god.
Yeah.
You know. Do you just double down and say, you know what, I am going all in, and I'm going to make whoever we play one-dimensional where they have to run the ball because you're not going to have time to throw it, instead of trying to, you know, go get key guys at key positions and trying to load up on offense because you got a $60 million a year quarterback and you're trying to cater to him. Do you flip that mentality and go, look what the Eagles did? You know, they built it through the draft. But do you go get a win-now guy that you can put opposite of Micah and say, all right, this is what we're doing for the next 3 years?
You don't have anybody in the middle. And
Same problem.
And
right?
I got away from this year after year because I know y'all just got tired of me just hammering about the middle. You don't have anybody in the middle offensively, and you don't have anybody in the middle defense.
What if you go, okay, we're selling our future for the one thing that's
we're
kept
too
them
far out.
So you think there's
we
too
don't
many
have
pieces?
enough player per player in our own division to fight right now. We can't match up man to man with the Redskins with the Commanders, and we definitely right now can't line up man to man. I'm talking in a playoff situation. I ain't talking about during the year when everybody ain't hyped. I'm talking when everybody hyped and giving their best shot. We can't line up right now man to man with these guys. So you can't sell out for this guy. This guy, what is a $20, $30 million player? That'll be 2 of them on defense. You can't afford it. You just can't afford it. And you too far out. Mozzie hasn't shown you enough. You may lose Osa. So who do you got in the middle? So if the guard and center's doing their job,
Justin Rogers. I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to take a shot at you.
Watching that
did.
game,
You meant to.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
You could apologize, but you meant to.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, is I'm wrong here? How much does this guy make a year in Cleveland?
yeah, it'd be a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not him, but like, do you
Yeah.
load up
It's
on
no
defense
player
now?
like him.
Well, I think to me the
Well, that's
biggest,
true.
obviously we all saw the difference between the Cowboys and Eagles in that game. To me, the biggest difference was on the line of scrimmage. I mean, that was pretty obvious, I think. I mean, they have to do something on the defensive line.
Well, Nate's been saying that for
Yeah.
5 years now.
And they-
To the
6
point
years?
where I just stopped.
They haven't. Yeah, I mean, they've got to do something I don't know if going all in on just defense, but you really both.
I guess
you got
that
so
was
many
that-
question marks on the offensive line too.
That was my question: is do you, since you do have Micah, you had Dak and you tried to load up on offense and that didn't work. Now you're going to have to pay Micah. Do you load up and flip it and then put all your chips in on the defensive side and just win with an okay offense?
They just gave a guy a 5-year contract. It has to show up in 2 years. Will McClay has to show up, and I'm praying he picked the players. Not a group. Not, hey, Jesse, what you think? I know you play defense, but I'm over here on offense. What you think? No. Jesse, you handle the defense. You handle the offense. I'm going to do the special teams, and we're going to get our players from the scouts. Now, I'm not saying they don't do that. I don't know, but that committee thing does not work. Howie Roseman, as I got his name correct?
That's a GM, yes.
Mm-hmm.
For the Philadelphia Eagles, it's all on him. The head man for the Rams, it's all on him. It ain't. You don't go to nobody else. When we lose, we got Mr. Jones, we got Mr. Stephen Jones, we got the head coach, and we got Will. So we got like the fan base talking about 8 guys. It should fall on one guy. It should fall on one guy. You tell me what you like, what you want, and I'm going to get those players. And I'm going to present these players to you. And I'm going to tell you, hey, man, I know you like that dude, but the trainer, when I talked to him at Colorado, said, this dude is an accident waiting to happen. You may not want to do that. Oh, no, I can talk to him. I got him. And then 2 days later, oh, man, what we done did here. It ain't, just barely drafted him, Yeah. That's just my feeling.
So the odds
What do you
make
think?
which part?
Oh, you're just about to
I'm at a
load
loss,
up on Micah.
man. I don't know what you do at this point because, like Nate said, you got all your money tied up in your quarterback, right?
And a wide receiver, and finna be Eagles got 7 players gonna equal what our 3 studs gonna make over the next to 29 to when Jesse said when the explosion's supposed to happen in Philly. But I promise you, this Howard dude, he gonna be on cut half of them dudes or released or traded most of them. I promise you.
I mean, I think your offensive line, you need some work there. But I think if you focus on the run game, but you don't really have a running back right now, if you do the blueprint you had after Dak went down, your offense can score you enough points to win games. I think you have to invest in your defensive line. You got to get some pieces in the offensive line, invest in the defensive line. It all starts up front on both sides. You got a serviceable offense. You got to plug in the offensive line. You got to fix the defense, and it starts in the middle. Like, I think that's what you got to do. Skill positions are great, but if you got 6 seconds to throw, Kurt, you could find somebody open.
Really?
So that's just my opinion.
Make more money here.
It's
And we talk about, I get it, in the division, we talk about the Eagles and Washington a lot, but that's just to get into the playoffs. Like, Detroit will be back.
Yeah.
The Vikings will be back.
A healthy 49ers.
The Niners, the Rams. I mean, there are teams, if you count Philly and Washington, that's 6 teams that you're looking up at and you're saying, today, we aren't better than them. Mm-mm. We aren't better than the Vikings. We aren't better than the Lions. We aren't better than the Niners. We aren't better.
Well, Vegas has the Cowboys 4th in the division. According to Kurt, they got
Where do you have them?
They have the Giants. They have the Giants above the Cowboys.
Nah, that Vegas, you're
4th worst.
You're not getting my money on that one.
They have the Cowboys the 4th.
Not get third. If you just said third, third, then you're not getting nobody money. But when you put 4th, then people gonna start putting.
Is it 4th in the division or the conference?
4th
worst
odds or biggest odds or whatever to make the Super Bowl in the conference. The only teams below them are the Giants, Saints, and Panthers.
Okay, so they're above the Giants.
They're above the Giants.
Okay. Not the division for the conference.
All
Okay.
right, I misread that. My bad.
Yeah.
Sound about right.
Saints, Giants, and who else?
Saints, Giants, Panthers. So in their eyes, in the betting world's eyes, the Cowboys are ranked, 12th in the conference as of right now.
Okay, let's take a.
13th.
We're going to end on a positive note. Let's take a break. it's just hard to end on a positive note when the Eagles win the Super Bowl and they're young.
4 guys wrecked the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
4 defensive linemen
They should
wrecked the Super Bowl, and now their defensive coordinator said, I not only have the recipe for the Dallas Cowboys, I got the recipe for the Kansas City Chiefs.
They should have.
That's true.
There should have been a 4-way tie for the MVP.
Yeah, I wondered that if they would do
I know what Jalen's saying.
like Randy White and Harvey Martin co-MVP.
I know what Jalen Carter's saying. I won this with the Rams. I'm the reason we are in the Super Bowl. I'm telling you.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back,
Reincarnation of Fletcher Cox.
the final segment of Hanging with the Boys. We'll be right back.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at wingstop.com.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the final segment of Hanging with the Boys, brought to you each and every show by Jigsaw, the proud dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holly, Nate Newton. I'm Shannon Gross. We're talking about Cowboys. Thank you. And Eagles. Has anyone ever had a better 22nd birthday than Cooper DeJean?
Pretty nice.
22, won the Super Bowl, first career interception ever, was in the Super Bowl.
Touchdown.
He's probably like, this is easy. We will be here every year from now on. At least 2 or 3 more times I'll have a chance to win this. You know how hard it is?
At least it's a 29 that was Jesse's. You know, don't forget that, right?
What a start to a career for that kid, huh?
Yep.
Oh man. All right, Kurt.
Yeah.
We got about 8 minutes left. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Patrick Mahomes' dad and John Rocker getting into it on Bourbon Street, and then Barstool immediately signing him to Rough and Rowdy?
No, I didn't know.
Did you know that? No. Apparently, they've had beef since their playing days in Major League Baseball.
Really? They're both pitchers. How did they have beef?
I don't know, but Patrick Mahomes' dad was outside of a bar, and John Rocker comes running out, and they almost literally fight in the street. And somebody got in between them, and then Dave Portnoy on Barstool. Now it's like 2 days later, they've signed him to their Rough and Rowdy series fights, and they got a contract.
I don't know if Pat Senior want to do that. Rocker looked yoked up.
Dude,
yeah,
he looked yoked
and
up,
and he's not right.
Yeah,
he's got that. He's got that anger in him, like
that roid rage.
Yet you can't.
Instead of throwing his,
he ain't right.
throwing his curveball, he right here trying to throw something different and cost the Braves. Man, get out of here. Beat him up, Patrick Holmes. Daddy.
So go ahead, Kurt. Sorry I cut you off.
Well, I wasn't.
Got him. Got him.
Oh, okay, let me ask you this, since we're Super Bowl related. I think for the longest time, we've all thought that Dak was still a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Kind of same styles in some ways, but I don't know now. It's a healthy Dak.
I'm looking right into my camera.
Healthy Dak
looking right into my camera.
Still better than Jalen Hurts, as he surpassed him.
No. If we just went player for player, give me Dak.
Okay.
Give me
Really?
Oh, that surprised me.
I thought you'd have a different
I did
response
too.
to that.
Dak is a better thrower.
Jalen. We said it earlier. Jalen had the better team.
Oh yeah.
He had the better team.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't have his only goal was don't mess this up. Don't mess it up. Don't fumble. Don't throw an interception. Don't just manage this. When they give you the opportunity to make the throw, you're an NFL starting quarterback. If they're going to go man to man, and Spags going to try to have some crazy blitz, find number 11, find Devontae Smith, and just throw it. Just throw go balls, and they'll catch them. Just don't mess this up. So I think if you put Dak in that situation, they win that Super Bowl. If you put Dak on that team, they win the Super Bowl.
What do you think, Nate?
I'm going to ride with Jesse on this because it'll make you think because he won. He won the biggest show on earth. But if going into that game, I said, man, if Hurts don't, I kept saying to him, if Hurts don't mess this up, I'm telling you, it's going to come down to Hurts because even when we talked about the second game during the regular season, when we talked about it, we had 4 players before we even mentioned Jalen, and then we just say and Jalen Hurts. So even though what all this kid has went through and he's came through it in flying colors, he did not mess this game up. And it's okay to be a bus driver. It can get you an MVP, and it can make you one of the top guys in the league.
What do you think, Kurt?
Well, now that you guys have put it that way, I guess so. But he had the team around him.
Hey, Kurt, it's okay to have your own opinion, even though these guys played football.
This is your twist my arm.
You can have a conflicting opinion. It's totally fine. That's what they are. They're opinions.
Look at him. Now you got to look at
They're like,
you got me
what do they say? They're like buttholes. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to listen to it.
Yeah, some of them stink.
Yeah.
I don't know. But how about the dual threat factor? I mean, you're not getting that from Dak anymore. Where Jalen had 72 yards rushing in that. But again, is that still part of the team around him? I guess.
Yeah, but that was again.
That was the Saquon factor.
The Saquon factor.
It was
like we're gonna load up and you're not gonna run Saquon. And so we're gonna load the box up, not gonna run Saquon, and then Jalen Hurts uses athleticism. Now, here's where the knock will begin to come against Dak. If you're not a mobile quarterback in today's football,
it ain't happening.
You're done. Your team won't have success. You won't have success. And I'm not saying you got to be Michael Vick or Jaden Daniels. I'm saying that you have to be a mobile quarterback. You have to be willing to be able to move around in the pocket, and then when everything fails, tuck it and go. Like, you have to be able to do that. Like, the athleticism is there. Dak, 32 years old, has already had the ankle. He's now had he had the major surgery on the ankle, major surgery on the hamstring. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he's going to be at athletically when it comes to mentally and physically going forward. And if we're talking about in the trenches and you don't have an offensive line that's going to be able to give you the time to be able to stand in the pocket and deliver, then you're looking at a very, very difficult situation, because you're going to face teams now who have built their programs defensively to go and stop mobile quarterbacks. So if you're not able to move and get away from defenders, the Jordan Davises of the world, the Paynes in Washington, the Aiden Hutchinsons when they come back, and all the people that you have to deal with in this division and conference, you're cooked.
Let me back you up a little bit, because this is a question I have, because I don't disagree with that. But you said if you have to be somewhat of a mobile quarterback in this league now, right?
Mm-hmm.
unless you're somebody that's elite, like an elite
But
pocket passer.
everybody elite is mobile.
But here's
Everybody is
no. Here's what I'm
mobile.
saying. If Tom Brady and Peyton Manning played in this league right now, are you saying they wouldn't be able to win?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Tom Brady just won a Super Bowl
3 years ago.
Yeah. So the league's changed that much since he
Yes.
won it? Really?
Yes.
What does that say now for the Cowboys having a quarterback that's not going to, sure doesn't look like he's going to give you that run threat?
It doesn't have to be the run threat. It just has to be the willingness.
Get 7 when you need it.
The willingness to do
Get
it.
8.
The willingness to do it. Like that's the big thing. And let me just say that, like, they would struggle. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady would struggle in today's football. The ball would have to come out extremely quick.
And the way they beat you then is the way they'll beat you now, because they beat you mentally. They beat you mentally. And so I'm adding to what Jesse's saying. I agree that you're going to have to be mobile, especially going forward. You're going to have to be mobile. But unless you're extremely intelligent with that football and reading these coverages, I mean extremely intelligent, because the advantage that these two guys you mentioned, when they walk to the line, they automatically look at and automatically start eliminating. Not here, not
And look
there,
at
not there.
Peyton Manning when
Yeah.
Peyton Manning won his last Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Boy, he was getting backpacked.
yeah.
He was getting backpacked.
Yes, he was.
That
Bad.
defense was holding.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting backpacked.
Yeah.
That last go around. And then Tom, he put together a great squad. They put together a great squad in Tampa Bay and was like, and he was Tom, and at that time
He wasn't getting backpacked.
Peyton Manning was definitely getting backpacked. And Tom Brady, he was getting the ball out at an historically
Yes,
fast
he
rate.
was.
Well, he said there was an interview. I'm sure I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't remember what show it was on, but he was talking about that last Super Bowl, and he said where I excelled at and my superpower was I studied so much film before that Super Bowl. He's like, I had 2 weeks of film study where when guys walked to the line and their body language is a certain way, I knew where they were going to be. He goes, and the advantage that I had, I got 5 guys in a route. I know exactly where each one of them is going to be at a certain time. And if I look at a coverage and I know none of these guys are going to be open, I don't run the play. He's like, I check out or I call a timeout. He's like, I don't go to the line. And he goes, I know.
I heard those same words. Yes.
He's like, I know exactly where my guys are going to be, and I know who should be open. And if there's a coverage that I go, wait a minute, this package and these routes aren't designed for that coverage, I don't run the play. He was like, that's where. So he even knew, like, I don't have the arm strength to zip it in somewhere. He just was
the
smarter than everybody
mobility.
else.
Because that's what brought it up. The mobility is what made him start talking about what you're saying, Shannon. The bottom line is, when you have elite intelligence, Mike Irvin like to say above the neck intelligence, when you got that right there and you got a nice arm and just pocket awareness, that's what we used to call it, pocket awareness. Now it is the word mobility, because if you can't move out of the way of a Jalen Carter or these other guys or the guy from Cleveland, you're going to get smacked. You're going to get what's called backpacked.
It worries me.
Tom Brady and Peyton were those type guys. I've heard them talk to Dion's boy about that same thing, and he was telling him a couple of years ago, the great guy who's on TV now,
Tom
Brady's telling him, like, son.
Telling Shador.
Yeah. I know it was Peyton. Excuse me. I'm going like you. It was Peyton. He said, when I walk to the line, son, I'm already eliminated. What routes can't work? And that goes to, that's a bad play. Coaches call a bad play. Let me put them in a better position. And his receivers were smart. That's why Ocho did not last.
Yeah.
He did not last with Tom Brady, because it's like they played their first game and he came out of the game, ain't caught a pass. I'm like, man, I see why y'all are so good. Yeah, you can't even run a simple route, bruh, because they gave him a different look.
Yeah.
But when you're on that level right there, yes.
Well,
That's the level that Dak has to get to now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
he has
sir.
to be
at this point in
And
his
his
career,
receivers
at this
have
point in
to
time
be
in his
there.
career, because he's never had the biggest arm. Never, it's never been his talent. Like his talent's never been, I got this powerful arm. Now he has a throw. His seam throw is one of the best throws in the league.
Yes,
like,
it
he
is.
can throw that seam. But he has to now be on the elite level of intelligence. What I'm like to that point where Peyton and Tom are talking about being able to come to the line of scrimmage. And the thing that has fooled Dak Prescott in the past is when he doesn't have a solid running game and teams drop back and make him have to sift through coverage. That has been the Achilles heel for Dak Prescott. That's the whole Vic Fangio blueprint is I'm going to make you have to read through 7 and 8 guys in coverage. We ain't worried about sacking you. I'm just worried about now letting you believe that you saw something that ain't really there. And then when you throw it, gotcha. That's where he has to now go. He has to go now to where I am the most intelligent dude at the line of scrimmage because I don't have the mobility anymore. My offensive line may not be as great as it once was, and unless the Cowboys decide to go and bring in a high-level number 2 receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb, I'm throwing to CeeDee Lamb and some maybes.
Yeah.
So Dak got to go get the Ghostbusters.
Go get Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, because all them ghosts he be seeing.
Well, moral of the story, we got some work to do in the offseason.
Well, we need to do the draft show.
Nah.
No.
No reason because we know what we want to get.
Nah.
Offensive, defensive linemen. So we just go get them. The draft show over.
We only need about 10 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Shore all this up and get them on a budget, and
Let's just
maybe
get
3 of
rid
them
of
work
trade
out.
everybody and just go first round crazy.
Just start over. All rookie team.
But that's what it's going to be anyway.
All right, Nate, good stuff. Jesse, good stuff. Kurt, good seeing you. Jazz, thanks for keeping us on the air. Josh, thanks for keeping us company. Chris, enjoy vacation. We will be back next Thursday. Same time, same place.
Try to wear.
What are we going to talk about next week?
Don't wear an Eagle shirt.
Huh?
We'll figure it out.
Nothing?
It's the Cowboys. Somebody will say something. We didn't get into the CD comment. We didn't get into the Dak comment.
The new coaches.
We didn't get into the Micah comments.
What new coach?
Cowboys.
Ain't he always been with us? Oh, I thought osmosis mean he's all.
He's a new head coach.
Oh, okay.
Promotion.
Osmosis
And he hired a lot of new people. So he's hired a lot of new coaches.
I hope this new offensive line coach don't be scared to start the best player.
Come on, Clayton.
Awesome Richards.
All right, well, yeah, there will be something. There will be something. Do the Cowboys take the thunder back from the Mavs and make headlines within the next week before the next show?
I hope not.
Hope not the same way. Yeah, I'm about to say. Hope not the
But
same
will
way.
something happen here that
It always does.
you
never thought the Herschel Walker trade would be beat. Yeah, it's been beat.
It always does.
All right, tune in next week to see what that is on Hanging with the Boys.
We out.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?